We're with Paul McGrane from Coughlin Track and Field here on the John Mendola Show at our Carol and Janelle. And Coach, you have some guys that you're going to punch your ticket to states. That's what it's all about. And still growing. Still a lot of young members of your team there at Coughlin this year. But I know you're proud of this particular group of guys that put it all together this year in this 4x1 group.
Yes, these guys have been together a while. Vince Todd and Cole Horan, they've been down to the state meet a couple times for the 4x1. And Marquise came and joined him this year, and Jude Bordeaux, and Raphael was down there last year. So it's a nice group, a real good group to work with.
A lot of interchangeable parts this year due to, some guys tweak some things and different things. Talk about that ability of guys stepping up, and something that, you've always worked on is the 4x1, the handoffs and starts, and just there's so many parts to it.
Well, the weather this year wasn't really conducive to great running, and Cole and both tweaks hammies during the year. And we were lucky; we had a couple really nice sprinters. We have Jude Bordeaux, who's a freshman, ran 11.3 for us. He jumped in, and Antoine Dates, he jumped in a couple of meets too. So it was nice to have those guys as a good backup, and we're looking forward to those guys running in the future.
Let's talk a little bit about time-wise, where you were during the year, and then putting in your best time when it mattered at districts.
Well, we were running nice at the beginning of the year. I think we went up. We started the year kind of quick, low 44s, upper 43s, and then when we ran a meet without Vince, and we still ran a 43.9, which got us pretty excited. But then the next meet, Cole tweaked his hammy at the cross meet, so he kind of shut down the whole meet there. And up at Crestwood, we ran a 43.1 without Cole in there. And Cole's really good at handoffs and runs the curb really nice. He brings a lot of experience to the team. I told the guys, with him, we might be in the 40, 42.8s, 42.9s range. And that's kind of what they ran at the district meet.
And the competition at districts, you knew Scranton was going to be there, and Valley View, teams like that. Talk a little bit about putting it all together and say, hey guys, you got one opportunity here. It's going to be a good one.
Well, we were just talking on the way up. We've had great competition with Valley View and Scranton about the last 5-6 years. Every year we come up, we know one of us is, or it's going to be just great competition. And to have those guys go down with us at the state meet really makes us proud to be representing District 2. You don't often get 3 teams from AAA going down to a state meet. And so this is going to be nice having some friends coming down.
You would have liked to have more depth on your team overall, but when you look back and think of all that attention that you put into working that 4x1 and handoffs and guys getting their rhythm down, that hard work paid off for these guys to finally do it, and as you say, get another opportunity, head down and experience Shippensburg University.
Well, these guys are really good. They came out in the wintertime. They started running back in November. We went to meets in December, January, February. So they had a nice base coming in. They did a lot of 4x2s and stuff in the wintertime, which made it a lot of fun. They really get to know each other in that wintertime.
Coach, you talk about those 2 guys that are going to go on their own way. Mm-hmm. Talk about Vince. He's going to head to East Stroudsburg University, going to play some football. Talk about the experience that Cole brought this year, and him being able to do some stuff with the long jump this year to head to states and earn an extra spot there.
Exactly. Vince is going to play football up at East Stroudsburg for Coach Dowd. So he's really looking forward to that. Cole's going to Colorado State. He put a lot of time in. He worked a little bit with Justin Collins up at Western Wayne, working on his form a couple years. So it was really nice to see him finally just put it all together. The speed came, the jumping ability came, and he just worked on it on his own, and boom, he got it. His last jump was his state qualifier. So it's nice for your last event, last attempt, to do your best, and that's what he did. He broke the school record, while he did it too.
You've had some guys that the tradition kind of handed down. These guys are kind of handing off that baton to some of those younger guys you mentioned, Raphael and Marquise. Those guys are going to kind of get a little feel of how they're going to treat some of the younger guys for next year.
Oh, exactly. We worked the same drills for, God, 20 years now. Back when Dave Rubico was there, and Bobby McGrady and Blair Saunders, Tony Dates. It just handed down to the girls' teams when we had the Bordeaux girls and Maritona. They were doing the same drills, and they passed it down to these guys. And now they're passing it on to Raphael and Marquise. Marquise didn't come out last year, and I saw him after the meet yesterday. I said, "You happy you came out?" He goes, "Oh man, I'm so excited I came out." And it's going to be a carryover because he sees the football team working out there, and now I think he's pretty committed to playing football this year, which will be a nice addition for the football team to get more speed like that.
Yeah, and of course, producing a couple state champions and Shelley Black and Dana Hayward, two excellent 300 hurdle winners, and going back to the javelin, Justin Ricavage, a nice job career he had in college as well. Coach, always great to talk with you. Congratulations on making another trek to Shippensburg University.
Thank you, John.
Talking Coughlin track and field here on the John Mendola Show. Vincent Todd with us, one of the sprinters on the 4x1 team. And Vince, talk about all the work you guys put in all year with, a few highs and lows. Guys getting tweaked up a little bit and interchangeable parts, but in the end, somehow you guys are able to do it.
We've just been working all season throughout the injuries, pushing here, pushing there. We have a lot of alternates that we're working with too, a lot of young guys coming up, and they were able to fill spots when I went down or Cole went down, and they were able to rely on them, and they got the job done. And then districts came down, we all worked together and got it done.
Hard to stay healthy your whole track career. It's probably the hardest sport. I mean, football you get banged up or whatever, but track and field's so challenging. Talk about some of the highs and lows that you've experienced with track and field and trying to stay on the top edge of your game the best you could.
I feel I don't know why, but I feel it's a lot harder to stay healthy in track than in football. Even though track's a non-contact sport, I've been hurt a lot more times in football or in track than I have in football. And injuries I face in football, I just rub off or whatever, and then track, I'm out 2 weeks, out for this, out for that. And then, but the highs of it, I mean, come out with district champs 3 times. Experience with the guys is nothing else like it. And just team communication, get the vibe around with everybody, and it's nothing like it.
You guys at practice, you like to have some fun, but when the work comes in, you say, okay, Coach will come over, you got to do your thing, and you guys really work on those handoffs. Talk about that little extra push there paid off, because it comes down to just a couple nanoseconds there when you're in a race like you were at the district championships. I think it comes down to handoffs too. We try to craft those down to almost perfection every day, and the whole week we were going against each other, battling with each other, but it's a competition sport, so if you're doing good, it's going to push me to do good, and vice versa. The first leg's running with the third leg, and second and fourth are running together. So my teammates, they're always pushing me. I'm always trying to push them to do better, and then it always brings out the best of all of us. Take us through each guy, and I know, there's 4 of you guys, but really there are like 6 guys that were the other parts this year. Take us through young guys like Jude Bordeaux as a 9th grader, what he experienced learning from you guys this year, over to Raphael and everybody on the team.
We'll start with the first leg, Marquise. This is his first year out. He did a lot better than I think anyone thought he was going to do. He just kept coming, kept working hard. He got down first leg, which I feel could be the hardest, coming out the blocks while holding the baton and running the curve, and he learned that pretty quick. Second leg, Raph, this is his 2nd year out, and as a freshman, he was expected a lot of too, and this year he's expected even more of, and he did better than I think he thought he could do. And then third leg, Cole, he brought out. He's been doing his thing all year round. He just kept jumps too. He's been set the school record, then set it again yesterday in the districts. Then they've been pushing me all year round, battling through injuries, and they got me the lead, and I just held on to it.
You talk about the next step for you, East Stroudsburg University. A bunch of schools were interested. You had to kind of figure out what the best fit was for you. Talk about why you're headed to East Stroudsburg University to play football.
I feel like that's like feels like home there. I mean, talked to the coaching staff, met a few players, went down to the spring game, and I feel like the place I want to go to feels like home, and I feel like at all places I visit, that was the most comfortable spot. And it's not too far from home. I can come back, visit family. They can come out and visit me at my games, and that's what the best feeling about it.
You're going to step away from track and field, and East Stroudsburg has a pretty darn good program, but there'll be some things you miss about it. The competition, I'm sure, just kind of getting up for a meet and being able to perform like you have. That'll be something you'll miss, but you still got one more opportunity at Shippensburg.
Yeah, I mean, Shippensburg next weekend, gotta make the most of it. States is an experience like no other, and going down with the team again. It's third year down. I mean, hey, why not this year? Why can't we do something, make some noise down there? I mean, we're only right now. I think we're ranked 14th out of the state, but a few districts still have to run more. But why not us? Why can't we do something? So that's what I feel we got to go in attitude with.
All right, congratulations, Vince. Great career, and best of luck at ESU.
Thank you.
Cole Horan joins us from Coughlin here on the John Mendola Show. And Cole, for you, it was a great District 2 Track and Field Championship. Let's first talk about the long jump for you this year and how things were going. Some of the highs and lows you felt with that, and you battled a little bit of an injury this year, but the ending on a high as you qualify for states.
Yeah, I was mostly kind of a triple jump guy. I wasn't the best at long jump. That kind of showed my sophomore year. I was pretty proficient in triple jump, and then long jump I wasn't bad, but I wouldn't say exceptional at it. But then junior year was pretty rough for a lot of reasons, so I wouldn't really count that by any means. But by my senior year, I seemed to be nothing very special until the Hazleton meet when I jumped the 22.2 and I got the school record, and that was really awesome. I was pretty hyped about that. And then as the season progressed, I rolled my ankle, and then I eventually had a hamstring problem, so I was a little nervous coming for districts, but luckily the 22 wasn't a fluke by any means, and I was able to top my PB again at districts, which was great because prior to yesterday I'd never been able to jump any type of 20 at districts. I always had usually a bad day at districts, so I was just happy to be able to improve so much and have a ticket to states and have my name in the book, so to say.
Talk about the competition. There could be a little bit of an intimidation factor with the kid from Scranton who's pretty darn good. Talk about his talent, what he brings, and then being able to be pretty darn close to him.
Kieran he's an exceptional athlete. I remember when I was a freshman, I wasn't even on the varsity team. I was still on the junior high team when I just moved here, and I remember hearing about him jumping 47.1 in the triple jump and high 21s, and he kind of transitioned from being mainly a triple jumper to getting his long jump really exceptional by jumping 23s, and I think I heard he even jumped the 24. I don't know how accurate that is, but I mean, he's still, regardless, he's an exceptional long jumper, and I'm happy that I was able to be kind of up there with him and being able to go to states with him. But Kieran's he's a really nice guy. He's really humble for them, overall. And then it's really fun watching him jump because he has such a amazing amount of athleticism, and he just pretty much dominates usually whatever he does. So,
speaking of nice guys, you come across as that with your fellow teammates at Coughlin, some of the younger track and field athletes as well, and maybe 7th or 8th grade. You're kind of trying to show them a few things.
Oh, yeah.
Talk a little bit about having that coaching mentality and learning from some people before you, and then trying to hand off that torch and say, hey, here's what I learned, here's what you could do.
Yeah, I always really take it a lot. I really enjoy all the advice that I get, especially from prior teammates like Jordan or Nick or anybody else from the other 4x1 relays. And I really like to pass on all that I know so I can help just kind of each generation of Coughlin athletes, keep them improving and stuff and reach new heights. Because I mean, I always had one kid who's a freshman. He'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna beat your record by the time I'm a senior," and I'm like, "Oh, please, go for it." And I try to help out as much as I can. And whenever I see somebody struggling, I always like to lend a hand or offer some advice or whatever they need or whatever I think that will put them in the right direction. So I'm just grateful for all the teachings that I've gotten, and I hope that I can keep it developing the younger athletes into teachers and leaders as well, so that we can just keep having a good lineup for the years to come.
4 guys get their name on the plaque with a record, but couple other guys this year at Coughlin really contributed to this 4x1 team to kind of keep it going. Talk about those other two guys that are pretty darn important.
Absolutely. Those two guys are Jude Bordeaux and Antoine Drake Gates. Jude, I always knew about him because of the famous Bordeaux sisters, who, you know, Nat and Tamar. They both went to St. Joe's for track and field, and they're really nice and they're really awesome. And I remember I would always see Jude occasionally in the summer with them when they would come for practice and stuff and things like cross country. And I really got to be friends with him and know him a lot through this year during a winter track. And I always saw him last year as a freshman and as an 8th grader doing really well and running really well in the 100 meter, and he's just been a really big asset to this team. For a while it was him and Marquise Silva going like head to head at the first leg, and you know they run really close, but in the end Marquise, you know, he showed that he needed the spot more this year. But Jude's really been such a great personality on the team. He's been really nice, really awesome to be around. And Antoine, he has a lot of the issues that I have with kind of a mentality of, you know, being able to, you know, not realize your full potential. But I think I've always thought Antoine was a great athlete, and I've always tried to take him under my wing because he jumps and sprints just like I does. So he had a really good year this year, and I really think that if he just keeps on working on it, especially with his little mental block that, you know, all of us can have sometimes, I think he can really be a phenomenal athlete and contribute greatly to the team.
Say a little bit about each spot this year. You know, Marquise at 1 and Raphael at 2, and what you do at 3, and then give it to Vince at 4.
I mean, it honestly just meshes so well. I always thought Marquise was going to be a great starter because I always heard stories from Raphael saying like, oh, Marquise was always faster than me for the longest time, and he's going to go out for track this year. And I always really never knew who he was until this year, and I was pretty impressed, you know, seeing him. I definitely, Raph was true to his word, but you know, although he didn't really, you know, necessarily wasn't faster than him, but he's a great lead off, you know, was really, you know, motivated, was really, you know, looking forward to winning just like the rest of us. Raphael, he's one of my best friends that I have. He runs an amazing second leg. He might stay at that for the next year, but who knows. He just overall great. Going to see him 1 and 2 with Vincent over the course of the year, and I try to do what I can at the third leg. I try to, you know, hug the curve as much as I can and just get a good lead and, you know, keep up whatever I can. And then Vincent always is just, you know, he's famous for bringing it home and being just that exceptional force that we need on the team, and he really knows how to, you know, come in clutch when we all need it.
Talk about Coach McGrane. Never gets enough credit for the type of guy he is, the kind of coach brings out the best in people, puts people in the events that, you know, okay, you could do this. I know I could get you down to this. Talk about the wittiness of him and your relationship with Coach
Absolutely.
McGrane.
Coach McGrane is just a huge part of my life right now. He's really always tried to push me to be the best athlete I can be, and whenever I'm having a bad day, he's always there for me, and he really, you know, lets me know that I should truly appreciate myself and, you know, just kind of realize the potential that I have in me to do the best that I can. And he's always encouraging people to do the best that they can. He's always trying to have fun, but when it comes to be serious, you know, and you need to be, he's always on top of that, and he knows, you know, when is the right time to do certain things, and he's always trying to get people to, you know, go out of their comfort zone and do what's best for the team rather than just individual, and he knows the right moves for when it matters. So, I mean, we've been close ever since my sophomore year when I decided to join the team, and I've just been happy that I get to run for him for one last meet.
Colorado State's going to be the next step for you. Obviously, balanced academically, being able to get to Colorado State. So talk a little bit about what you're going to study and what you're going to do there.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I'm really thankful to be able to go back out to Colorado to attend college there. I'll be studying computer science in the fall. And actually, I emailed the head coach there asking about certain walk-on requirements and, you know, what kind of they're expecting at the Division I level. And they said about 44 feet for triple jump and 23 in long jump. So I feel if I can keep working on that, I might have a good shot this upcoming school year. But we'll have to see if all comes into place and if I'm really, you know, motivated enough to try to want to be on the team. But I'm looking forward to whatever the future has to bring me.
Sounds like the door's open on your end and hopefully on their end. And if you decide to open it, we wish you the best. Cole, great to hear your story, and we wish you the very best going forward.
Thank you very much.
Raphael McCoy from Coughlin here on the John Mendola Show, part of that 4x1 team. And Ralph talked a little bit about that second leg and working on the handoffs and how everything worked with you and Marquise.
Oh, well, we had to work on it. We was in the beginning of the year, we had Jude first leg. And, you know, we was working in, and then, you know, he had competition. Marquise came out, and, you know, it was real good competition. So I had to work with both of them, But we adjusted quickly, and they both did a great job, getting me ready, working on both of their handles just in case one gets injured and anything could really happen. But at the end of the day, Marquise won the job slightly, and we did a great job at districts, and it was real good, clean handoff, and it was great.
Not easy when you're the guy that's kind of got to get and give. First guy only has to give, and the third guy's got his work just like you. The fourth guy just got to get. But talk a little bit about that exchange in both zones.
Yeah, well, I feel like Cole is a third leg. He's great at placing his hand perfectly, and it's like the easiest. Like anybody else was a third leg, I probably wouldn't be able to do it. So it's really about how he puts his hand and stuff like that. And I did it all last year too. I was second leg last year as a freshman, and I was getting into it because I was young or whatever. But we did it. It was the same order except for Marquise replaced Jordan Austin last year, and so it was just clean all the way around, and it was fine.
Staying healthy during track season so tough. Talk about for you just trying to listen to your body and figure things out and get through a track and field season as healthy as you could.
Yeah. There's a lot of meets, so a lot of meets you put your all into the events. And I usually do 4 events, probably 1 jump, or I jump in a 4x4, whatever. And it's hard, going in. So there's a lot of ice baths afterwards, icing up and stretching a lot. Stretching is really essential. You gotta warm up properly and stuff like that so you don't pull anything. We had a few injuries on the 4x1 team that we overcame, you know what I mean? But it's tough. But yeah, I hope. Thankfully, I was healthy all year round. Yeah.
Do you think this district championship was as perfect as you guys had as far as start to finish, handoffs, everything?
Actually, could have been better. I felt we got the district record, but we could have ran faster. If using the 100, Vincent, he pulled his, he got kind of hurt his hamstring again a little bit, so he could have ran faster, and me and Cole could have had a cleaner handoff. But we're gonna clean that up at states, and we're gonna run even a faster time. Hopefully, we make finals.
Being around some of these guys like Cole and Vince, learning from them. Of course, last year you said as a freshman you learned some things as well, and you'll now probably pass off that baton to other guys next year and kind of show them what you learned. Talk about them taking you under their wing and kind of showing you the way it is.
They're amazing. They're the best 2 pair of teammates I could ever ask for. They showed me everything I needed to learn through my last year and this year. I'm so upset that they're going to be leaving, but I think we're going to have a great team next year too, but it's not going to be the same without Vince and Cole. Vincent, he runner-up 3 years in a row, for the 100 meters. He's very fast. He should have got gold a few times. And Cole is, I would say, probably the best athlete on the team because he does everything well. He jumps really good. He's the only one that made an individual, he's going for states. He qualified for an individual event. He's really, really great, and both of them, missing both of them next year is going to be really tough. And they taught me everything I could, I learned and everything I know right now. So it's bad that they're leaving, but I'm glad that they were the 2 to show me my way.
You play football. You're a pretty good athlete on the football field, but it seems like you're finding your niche a little bit more in track and field. Yeah. Talk about what it's been like for you to say, okay, I'm starting to get pretty good at this. I got to start taking everything a little bit more seriously here.
Yeah. Well, at first, last year, I wasn't really going to come out for track and field. And only reason why I came out is to condition for football because that's really all I care about. But, Vincent and Cole, and Jordan Austin last year too, if it wasn't for him, I probably, he showed me my way too. But it's once I started seeing I'm very fast and the success, I loved it. I get medals at districts and stuff like that. And I go to states. Not a lot of people do that, especially their first 2 years of high school. So it's I'm starting to see I'm really good. But I'm still really focused on football season. I'm got to hit the weight room a little bit more, and hopefully I'll do great in both sports.
How about the support you get? People cheering you on? Any family or friends there for you?
Yeah, no, my mom and dad are the best support system I could ever ask for. And my family, my uncle Lewis, and they're all great. They all come to my track meets and my football games and stuff like that. And and I'm the Coughlin student section in the football games, and Coughlin, they always come. They were just at the district meet cheering me on. it's amazing. I wouldn't be able to, like, I wouldn't want to do on any other school in Coughlin. You know, it's amazing.
How about Coach McGrane? How much has he won you over? Where you kind of like started listening to him a little bit more, a little bit more? Like, I think this guy knows something.
Yeah, he's a great coach. He's been doing this for a while, and you know, like he's been doing this for a while, and you got to listen to him. You know, and sometimes he's hard, but it's only for the best. He's the best coach I would ask for. You know what I mean? And he always believes in us. He knows we could do it. He knows we could do better. Even he said it could have been cleaner. We're gonna do it at states, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. Is yes, coach, and we're gonna work hard to try to make finals in states and maybe medal, hopefully.
Raphael McCoy and the Coughlin track and field team here on the John Mendola Show. Congratulations.
Thank you.